If you are a coach or service provider and you've thought about running Facebook ads, but every time you picture putting your hard-earned money into the Zuckerberg machine, you feel a little sick to your stomach, or if you're wondering, do I really need ads, or can I just keep doing my affiliate marketing? Can I just keep showing up on podcasts and hoping that that works? Then this video is for you. Hey there, I'm Ashley and I'm a systems and automations expert. And on this channel, I help coaches and service providers use Airtable to make their businesses feel simple, scalable, and really easy to run, especially when it comes to tracking results and running their offers without burning out. This is a special video called Ashley Stays in Her Lane, where we're talking about something outside of my zone of genius, but is definitely critical for running an online business. And today we are talking about paid ads. I really believe in 2026, established coaches, consultants, and service providers should at least consider treating Facebook and Instagram ads like part of their marketing strategy and not a someday project that you're going to figure out. I have somebody here that I am so excited. I am personally going to be learning from this person in 2026. Her name is Claire Pelletreau, and I'm really excited for you to dive into this conversation with us. Claire is a Facebook and Instagram ad expert and conversion optimization expert. So her mission is to help you actually see a return on the money you're putting into ads without needing an expensive agency. Her trainings are famous for being ridiculously easy to understand and implement, and she is also the host of the Get Paid podcast, which I've been on a couple of times, where she talks very openly about money, profit, loss, and asks guests exactly how much they charge and how much they earn. Like I said, I've been a guest on the show, and we've linked those episodes for you in the description below. But in this conversation, we're talking all things Facebook ads. So how to think about a marketing budget, including ads, when you're used to relying on free or affiliate-based marketing, how much you actually need to spend to get started, including the truth about the $5 a day low-key evergreen list building ads, what's working right now in 2026, low-cost offers versus list building, and why you don't need to build a giant funnel before you test anything. We also cover DIYing your ads versus hiring an agency and why running your own ads is a genuine million-dollar skill. And we talk about Claire's program, Absolute FB Ads, which helps you get simple campaigns up quickly and understand the data so you know what's working and what's to fix. If you are ad curious, but you're nervous and you're like me and wondering, could I really get 1,000 leads from ads next year? This is going to give you a really grounded, non-broy look at about how ads can fit into your business. Links to Claire's programs, Absolute FB Ads, and her podcast, the Get Paid podcast, are in the description. Like I said, I'm an affiliate for Absolute FB Ads. I'm going to be in that program this year, and I would love for you to join me there. We talk about it all inside of this episode, so let's dive into the interview. Cool. Well, Claire, thank you so much for being here. I already gave the people a more fancy bio, but why don't you start off by telling us who you are and who you help?
Yes. So my name is Claire, and I help course creators, coaches, service providers, really anyone who is running like an online business fully online, how to set up their own Facebook and Instagram ads in a way that actually makes them money instead of completely flushing it down the toilet. I guess the only caveat there is not e-commerce. I'm not your e-commerce girl. I could help you, but you could probably learn from somebody else.
Yes, amazing. I'm so excited to have you here because you're like my go-to Facebook ads person. Whenever I think about starting
Aw.
Facebook ads, I'm like, I'll be ready for Claire at some point. And I'm excited as a business owner who feels like I am your ideal client and that I have a lot of objections that I'm sure that a lot of other people have. And
Yeah,
I'm
let's
really
talk
diving
about it.
into Facebook ads in 2026. So I was like, let's get Claire on the YouTube channel and just talk about these things. So, okay. Let me tell you my journey with Facebook ads because I
Mhm.
feel like it probably is relevant to where a lot of people are.
Awesome.
My business is going well. I made maybe like 200K, but I always felt like I didn't have enough slush fund to like
Mhm.
put into ads. It was always like, okay, I know that ads could probably work. I'm watching Claire, put out these case studies, have these like this ROI, but I'm so afraid of investing like my hard-earned money that I don't know if this is going to convert or not.
Mhm.
In like Facebook ads feel so like a black box of like a lottery of like, okay, like maybe that money you'll see it, maybe you won't. So I was so nervous to like to invest in ads. That's been my number one thing. And I would love for you to, we'll get into like why Facebook ads, when is somebody actually ready, but for those of us who are in that mode and in that, like, what would you say to us?
Well, first off, it's like so normal, right? Just the idea of running even, like $1,000, $2,000 a month of ads, right? Like not knowing when that's going to come back, it's very, very normal to not want to do that, to be like, I would rather hold on to that and do the things that are free. They take up time. We don't know when they're going to work either, but at least they're free, right? I just think that's super, super normal. And one of I mean, I think I got lucky because I started in this world of online business working for somebody who just invested, because that is how businesses make sales, is with advertising. Like, it's very, very normal, but we don't think of ourselves as normal. We're like, no, we're like these special, different online business. It's not like McDonald's or Comcast or whoever who can just throw money out there. But I like to actually think of it as a line item in my expenses, whether or not the money comes back. Because when I think of it that way, just knowing and having the thought, like, the ROI always comes back because it's about visibility. And in order to make more sales, to get more clients or customers, you need more people to know about you. Like, I can just say, okay, this is how much that's going to cost. It's a lot like, I want to go to a conference. I want to go to a conference, or I want to go to 3 conferences next year. And I don't know that I'm going to get any clients from that, or I don't know if I'm going to get any ideas that are necessarily going to give me an ROI, but I want to do it anyway. So I build it into my budget. And that's what I really encourage people to do. Just say, like, well, what could I spend in 2026 or in January or May, whenever you're watching this? Like, what could I spend to just start being more visible and letting people know that there are really great solutions to their problems that I can provide? Knowing that that's like what you need to do in order to scale your business.
Yeah, that's actually really helpful to hear because as I think about like not just having a Facebook ads budget, but like what is my marketing budget? Like because in the
Hmm.
beginning I didn't have a lot of budget for marketing. Like it's like I was relying on free things. I just had my first 6-figure launch and I really relied heavily on our affiliates because I was like, well, like it's not free. But it was like I knew I would do that payout if like it felt safer to me than Facebook
Hmm.
ads because I was like, I'm
Yeah.
doing the upfront work and then if they convert, then I pay them out. And with Facebook ads, it's like you're doing the upfront costs, but then afterwards you get to keep all the money. So it was just like it's just all marketing budget. Like that affiliate payouts are also my marketing budget. And so just being able to think about like how much do I have to spend? Because truly I was like, okay, I think we paid out like 6 grand of affiliate payouts this last
Hmm.
launch, and I was like, "What would have happened if I put those 6K into Facebook ads instead?" And this next
Yeah.
launch, I think we're gonna do both and.
Yeah.
But that makes a lot of sense to be like, what's my general budget? And then does it make sense with that budget to run Facebook ads?
Hmm.
And I know that's the thing that a lot of people are gonna ask next is, how much budget do I need to even like consider if Facebook ads is a path is something I should learn about and have the budget for?
Yeah. So those ads out there about ads that say, like, the $5 a day campaign, that's not crazy. That is real, because I have clients who run ads, just list building, $5 a day. It's to like a PDF guide. They've had the same ads running for over 2 years. And it's the only way they get clients, because they're not really doing anything else. They're very busy. They have a lot of kids. They're not that's their only marketing. $5 a day is doing it. Now, if she wanted to like suddenly fill up a group program, or like really scale her launch results, would $5 a day be enough necessarily to help her reach a very specific goal? Not necessarily. But when you are doing something like, I like to just call it a low key evergreen ad, there's no there's no webinar that you're leading up to with the ad. I mean, right?
Mhm.
Eventually there might be. There's no challenge. That like pressure on an ad literally makes the costs higher. So if you are able to just set something up to have it going all the time, the results can be better because Facebook has more time to find the right people for you. And it's not like, oh, suddenly I have to like spend all this money and I have to find those people, and they typically people who have a short period will end up paying more per lead.
Yeah.
So I like the low key evergreen ad. Can you get more results with more budget? Absolutely. Because it's just more money, more clicks, more signups, more people to sell to.
Okay, got it. And so you're saying, so I'm thinking about this is also I'm not I'm just like the mirror. I'm the conduit to the audience, but I'm like, okay, if I wanted to start ads for the first time, I have a launch coming up in April. Then like this low key evergreen ad, what do you even run? Like, what are you seeing working in 2026 for that like low key evergreen ad? Is that running it to you said a PDF? Is it a chat bot? Like, what are you finding is working for 2026, and what are you kind of seeing with trends in your clients right now?
I do not see running ads to a bot, excuse me, as working for more than the next 3 months. People are going to just be like, I can fucking create that on my own. Oh, sorry. I don't know what the,
It's my
okay, great. I think people are more interested in learning a specific strategy versus let me get some. I mean, everyone has different feelings about AI and whatnot, and I think
yeah.
in general it can be really helpful. But if you start seeing ads for a chatbot from a total stranger, it might be like, hey, I have a closer relationship with ChatGPT. Why am I going to, right? So
Yeah.
maybe I'd sign up for free for that. But I don't think paid ads for that, like a paid product for that, would work for too long. However, I do see the return of the low price offer ads working again. They
Mm.
worked really well in 2020, incredibly well. They were really brand new. People just being like, hey, I have these scripts or these, like a list of 1,000 things that you can use, recipes, whatever, for $27. And
Yeah, when you're
people
saying
were,
when you're saying a low cost, what's the
yeah,
range for that?
yeah. I would say up to $200, but the
Got it.
vast majority of the ones that work are less than $79.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Um, I do see those returning with being really micro solutions. And I mean, I say returning because they just stopped working. People
Mm.
stopped clicking on them. They stopped buying. Facebook started charging an arm and a leg for those ads. So it was really hard to get enough clicks and enough sales to make it worthwhile. I'm seeing much lower prices for just to get impressions of those ads now, and really good click-through rates depending on the product. If it's a stellar product and if there aren't a million of them out there.
Sure.
So that is something. And I was about to say but I think people will kind of stop everything in order to build an offer like that, like a low ticket 17, 27, whatever, forgetting that in order for that to really pay for itself, you need to have a multitude of offers with incredible copy and extremely compelling messaging. The one bump, I forget. I'm
Yeah, the order
very jet.
bumps, yeah.
There we go, order bump. I'm
Yeah.
very jet lagged right now, so yeah, I might start singing in a second. But so not to say if you have something already that you can easily turn into a low ticket offer like that, great, try it. Don't build way too much, going into an entire webinar funnel before you validate, before you test each one of those littler offers first, meaning run some ads to it and see if people buy. So the alternative to that is doing the low key list building ad, which is it could be a pre-recorded webinar. It could just be the replay of your last webinar. It doesn't even matter if it has deadlines in it or whatever. Could be a high value PDF. I would say only do that if it's so good that you could sell it. And then what you're doing is you are getting people on your list, even if they're not buying right away. And a lot of people do. There are plenty of people who will find your ad for something free, will want to book the call because your thing is the solution that they need. But I feel more comfortable growing my audience, having people to talk to, having people to get feedback from if they don't buy versus like only getting to interact with them if they bought from me. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Totally. That makes sense. And I think that there's this idea of you like my goal, and I think a lot of us, if you are launching, you need to understand your conversion rates. And like my conversion rate is about 10%. If somebody signs up for a webinar, 10% conversion rate. And that like
Damn.
this last month, I was like, or this last month, I was like, okay, if I get 500 people into the webinar, that's gonna be a 6-figure launch. And my list is 2,400. And it literally just
Mhm.
becomes a numbers game.
Mhm.
And it seems like, and that's why I think after that launch, I've felt more ready for Facebook ads, because I was like,
Mhm.
it's just a numbers game and Facebook ads can get me the numbers faster. Like,
Mhm.
and the idea of having a list of 2,400 people versus 3,400 people could drastically impact the bottom line of my business. And so you're saying like list building ads are working. You don't have to you don't have to create anything new. You can use your
Right.
existing materials and all of those things.
Mhm.
Tell people like, now I'm like, okay, I need to be inside of Absolute FB ads. Tell them about your program and like how you would help someone like me if I joined, like get those up and running, figure out and tweak.
So yeah, we actually we rebuilt the whole program uh in like mid 2025 because it had become a behemoth. I'll just be honest. Like
Yeah.
I tell you, or I used to say every single thing you could possibly do and why, instead of now what it is, which is just do these things because it's like the philosophy that I run my business by is 20% of your actions are going to give you 80% of the results.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just you come in, you identify what you're going to run ads to, and we tell you our recommendations and like if you do have something, maybe some tweaks to make, or just go ahead, and we give you just like what to write, what prompts to give ChatGPT if you want, um, some of my own ads, some of like my best performing copy and videos, how to do videos because I'll tell you, I don't know if you know this about me, Ashley. I hate being on camera. Hate
I
it
do know
with
this about
a
you.
passion.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing your face.
Ooh. And I resisted the video ads for so long, but once I figured out, and this is exactly what I teach, like the most pain-free, fastest way to get really, really good ads, my conversion rate, like actually it was my click-through rate because I'd always been able to get people like once they were on the page, they were signing up, they were buying.
Mm-hmm.
But I was used to get like the worst click-through rate on my ads. And my thought was, no, everyone hates ads. Nobody wants to learn about them. Well, just when I started doing these video ads, um, some are like on the floor of my daughter's bedroom and they're the best fucking performing ones. Everything really changed and my costs went down by half. So that's what we teach. And then we just have like the simplest videos on the tech setup and which is like basically the tracking, how to make Facebook know if people are signing up or not, and then the walkthrough of the ads manager. Um, and yeah, just like really straightforward instructions there. Plus, and this is the most important thing that people obviously are not interested in, but it's because it's not sexy, but it's then how to know what is happening with your ads.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing because, and this is why, like you said, it's for you, it's a numbers game. You know this conversion rate. So now it's just about like getting more. I really encourage people who have the money, even if they're just beginners, to run ads because that data, that report that you're going to see is going to tell you what to do, what to fix first in your business, what to work on next.
Yeah.
And I just love having that like really straightforward, okay, this was the message that worked. Oh, that didn't work at all. Let's try something else.
Yeah, I want to talk about capacity and my question around that when it comes to Facebook ads, because that is something, it always feels like a later project or like it's
Mm.
like feels like this behemoth of a thing that I know with systems it's the same way. It's like, oh God, I have to learn the technical side and then the copy and then the video and all of those things. And my brain is like, oh, I could just outsource to an agency. Um, I want to hear your thoughts of like going the agency route versus doing something DIY with something like Absolute FBI ads and what you're seeing. Because I have friends who swear that leaving their Facebook ads manager and like working with you has been the best move that they've ever made in their business. And just what's the difference between an ads manager and doing it DIY like this, and what's the best option? Like, what's the pros and cons?
Yeah, I could talk about this all day. In 2017, 2018, when I was running ads for clients and some like really big name clients, I was a superhero because it was my manipulation in the back end that made things work. And Facebook was smart because they just kept simplifying things so that, I mean, some ads managers just had to close up shop because they have fewer and few clients because they're just not as necessary anymore.
Mm.
Okay. But there are always people who are like, no, this isn't my zone of genius. Let me roll my eyes about that a million times because it usually comes from coaches
Yeah.
who are like, that's not your zone of genius, so you shouldn't be spending time there. But here's the deal with working with an agency. You will have to do the creative anyway. You will have to learn how to make those video ads or the image ads yourself. You will have to come up with all the ideas for the funnel, like all the messaging. You pretty much will have to tell them what to do, and then they will spend about 15 minutes setting up your ads. And typically 15 minutes a week on them, and you're paying them like $3,000 or more. So there's the money, right? But I think there's also something about realizing like this is a $1 million skill, right? Running my own ads and understanding what's happening with them, when I should spend more, why I need to fix some things if that's the case. That's going to get you to your highest revenue goal so much faster because you don't have to wait around for the ads manager to actually launch the ads. Like if you have an idea or if you're like, oh, shoot, I need to launch and wasn't planning on it, but for financial reasons, and you need to get those ads up tomorrow, that's not going to happen with an ads manager. It's just not. And usually ads managers or ads agencies, I find like they aren't as nimble as you would think that they are. They're still kind of like stuck to the older ways. And I know this, it shouldn't be that way, right? Because an ads agency and ads manager should be on top of things. But because of the way that I work with some clients in my mastermind, I'm on the back end of their ads manager. I see what the agencies that they just left are doing, and they are the setup. They're the setups from 2021 or even 2020. So it's like, hey guys, why aren't you even testing something new?
Yeah.
Because it would take more than 15 minutes a week.
Yeah, it seems like overall, I think the biggest thing, because I'm sure they're probably, I've talked to agencies who do strategy, but even then, you have to still literally record it yourself. Like you are, like there are creative and assets that do come from you, even if they do kind of form a partnership. But the biggest thing that I heard you say is like ads are a $1 million skill, and I believe like systems are a $1 million skill too. Like if you knowing how something works before you can delegate it or before you like you it's a really powerful thing as a business owner to be like, I understand how these work. I could run them myself. Like this thing is a huge driver of revenue in my business potentially. Like I do want to know how that works. It just makes me feel like I'm excited to join Absolute FB Ads finally because I'm like I want to know this skill and like this is something that will feel like I don't want to outsource something that feels so integral to like the success of like the next level of my business without really understanding the strategy and how it works. That's how I'm built. And so I like that Absolute FB Ads is like structured in that way so you can tinker and test and like know why things are working.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think I've even told you this. I was like a systems over stress client I have been for years, but we're only just now moving our like support
Mm.
over to Airtable. And I'm so excited because it's people are just going to get like answers to their questions a lot faster.
Yeah.
We did that in my other program and I was shocked at just how great it was to like get out of Facebook. I had a Facebook group and it
Yes.
was I thought that it was fine and it was so nothing compared to our current setup.
Well, and that's something as I really only join programs that have gone through systems over stress because I know if I'm going in there like the support ticketing just like the
Mhm.
features and the way that you have structured the offer and like yeah, I've done this as well. There used to be so many things inside of systems over stress and you really pare it down to be like here's what you need to know more is not better. It's like being able to get in, get out, get the ads running is awesome. So what is kind of like the standard timeline you see for somebody who wants to do one of those like low key evergreen ads, like from joining Absolute FB ads to getting that ad up and running? What's the typical time frame that something like that takes?
So you can do it in a day. You could easily do it in a day if you're just like you set aside the time. And I even in the timeline of that, I I give like, breaks, coffee breaks, or you're going to spend 2 hours creating those videos when it could actually get done in 30 to 40 minutes. It
Yeah,
depends, right?
totally.
And then I think it also depends on just like how ready something is. A lot of people will say like, "Oh, well, no, I now have to redesign this," or so we can make any project fit, right? Like any amount of time. But I have clients who really get it done they'll spread it out over a weekend or they'll just do it in a day. And they are shocked at how quickly it's actually done. And then how great the results are. Like they're like, okay, well, this was so fast, it can't be that good. But no, like really good.
I think so many people are seeing that in their Instagram, like in just like general feed posts too. They'll be like, man, I spend like so much time making like these fancy reels, these edited ones, and this one that took me 2 minutes to make is getting like the most impressions. So it makes sense that that kind of trend is going with Facebook ads as well.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. I created an ad recently where I just made it look like a ChatGPT conversation,
Mm,
and it was like my best performing ad. It's just black and
interesting.
white and boring and but yeah, the simplest things. And that's what's really cool about ads is like in a post, you have to decide on the angle that you're taking, right? On every email, you have to decide on the angle. And yeah, so there's a lot of posts, there's a lot of emails like when we launch or in evergreen funnels too. But with ads, like I'm about to launch some ads tomorrow and I have wildly different creative. And I can just say, "Here you go Facebook, go show this show Ashley the version that's she's going to connect with the most." And, show so and so here a totally different version. And the big thing that happened in 2025 is this update to their algorithm came out where they're now able to like to really target based on your copy,
Mm.
based on your actual ad. And it's because I mean we actually always taught this by accident, I guess. But so our ads are just getting better because we've always been doing this like, okay, different angles of creative.
Yeah, and when you get the ads up, because I know a lot of one of the reasons why I'm drawn to ads, is like I want marketing that works when I'm like on vacation, if I want to be asleep in my bed. Like a lot of the marketing that I do right now relies on me going on podcasts, like doing interviews, going to events, and you talked about like how some of your clients have ads that are like running in the background for years. What
Mhm.
do you think that like once you find an ad that's working, like that's kind of you're like this thing is converting, how much time do you have to spend really on your Facebook ads and like looking at them and tweaking them? Or do you find like once you kind of have one set up, it can run in the background? Is that typical for a lot of your clients?
I would say way more than 50% of my clients don't make changes to their ads for months because then they might eventually see the results like the click rate going down
Mhm.
or the and actually now this is another cool thing that Facebook does is it tells you this creative is getting old, honey. They're like, there's creative fatigue, so change it up. Where
Yeah.
you used to have to guess at like
Right.
why is the cost going up? But that'll often be months.
Yeah. It makes sense too, and I'm excited. I'm sure my business could have looked different than it does now if I ran ads earlier, but, like, the fact that all of probably the AI of it all, it's like it's making and, like, the UX is making things simpler to set up ads, to understand the ads manager, all of those things makes a lot of sense. Why do you think that somebody so we talked about agencies, talked about absolute FB ads, like, could somebody without absolute FB ads, like, run ads themselves because the tech is so good now? Or, like, why does somebody need to be in a container like yours if they're gonna start ads? It makes sense. Like, I don't wanna do it alone. I
Yeah.
it makes me nervous to do it alone. That's why I would join a container like this, but I'm curious your thoughts as, like, because I feel like that with Airtable, and Airtable has AI now that you could say, "Generate a group program base," and I'm like, "Have fun with that." It's not gonna do what you need it to do, but
Right.
I'm curious your relationship with FB like, with Facebook ads, and how it works with absolute FB ads.
Yeah. So there's, I would say like 20% of the settings right now are, yeah, it's 20% are where 80% of the like wasted money goes,
Mm,
right? Just like the wrong one because the like language that they use in their interface, it's like, well, yeah, of course I want more sales. That's what I want. So I'm going to choose the objective sales,
yeah,
right? That's sometimes, depending on what you're running ads to, gonna waste you a ton of money. Or same thing with like awareness, right? So it can still trick you up. And I'm sure, like, well, unfortunately, when I search things up on ChatGPT about like current things with ads or funnels, they're giving me stuff from 2017.
yeah.
So that's also a little bit tricky. Um, but I think what the AI can't help you with is understanding what's happening. Like understanding, okay, I'm spending this money. These metrics look good, but what's happening on the back? Why isn't this converting? Or why is it converting? What should I double down on
Mhm.
other than just increasing the spend? Um, they don't know. It's like the AI of Meta or Facebook doesn't have the business coaching built in.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's missing.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the same thing with ChatGPT and building Airtable builds. It's like it doesn't know the industry as nuanced yet. I mean, I mean, who knows in 6 months from now, but or a year from now, but like currently right now, it does not understand the coaching industry and like how I've just been when you have been in your software, for me, Airtable, for you, the ads manager, for 5+ years at this point, you just like you can look at something and know exactly how to make it work or better. Like you have we have both have this expertise, which is one of the reasons why I'm so excited that you still have Absolute SB ads. Like it's been around forever and it's been
Hmm.
updated and like you have years and years of historical like expertise and like hundreds, if not thousands of clients of like and data and questions, and I think it's just, like, absolutely, if you're gonna DIY it, it's the best container to be in. I haven't even joined
Thank
yet, but
you.
I know it is because I've been sitting here f on the sidelines cheering it on for years and years at this point, and it's still going, and it still has great launches, and, like, that's a huge testament to of just joining an offer, like, it's it's tried and true. It's tested.
Yeah, and it's lifetime access. So, like, literally people who we had them doing completely different setups in 2014 when I launched it are now coming back. They're still like coming to the coaching calls, which are there like just if people need them and they want to share their screens and things like that.
Yep.
But they're like, I get it all the time. So, what is working now, strategy wise? We've like
Mm.
got the setup. And they might see my ads and be like, okay, Claire, tell me about this. So we're talking about strategy and not just the technical
Yeah.
setup
Do you
inside the
cover,
program.
Instagram ads as well inside of it?
Thank you for asking that. All ads run on Meta, our
Mhm.
Facebook ads and Instagram ads and thread ads and blah, blah, blah. Facebook knows where, like, the best place to put it for the best conversions.
Yep.
It's very
Cool.
cool.
Great. And do you do I've been hearing people talk about partnership ads, especially when it comes to affiliates. What are your thoughts on partnership ads, and do you teach those inside of the program?
I don't teach them yet.
Cool.
That's a great question. I wonder, like, how would it work with the spend and the attribution?
Mhm.
So what I would just recommend if people like want to do that is creating content. Like if you were to run ads to this because with your link,
Yep.
but yeah, no, not the like in the native partnership ads, not yet.
I think that makes sense too, because and this is something I see a lot of the times when people are getting into Airtable, they're like, oh, Airtable does these like AI agents. I'm like, don't even think about that right now. Like, you need the base, like,
Right.
you need the foundation. And so to be like, I don't teach partnership ads is like, great, like, focus on the list building ads, like, like focus on the foundational strategies and then playing with the shiny new features, whatever that they roll out with is like a later project. So
Yes.
that like helps me clear that up.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, totally. I used to say that about like the low price product ad, like don't try that until you've done that. But I actually don't feel that way anymore because of how simple and similar the setup is now. The setup used to be very different, but
Yeah.
if so, like if people want to start with that, if they have something like time sensitive or like happening. I heard about somebody who was doing a workshop about it was like a writing workshop, but tied in with Taylor Swift, and she had
Mhm.
gone viral in her organic. And then I was like, yes, you haven't run an ad in your life. Run ads to that,
Yeah.
please, because that's going to kill.
Cool. Okay, so if my goal next year is to get 1,000 leads, you think that's possible using Facebook ads?
I'm laughing because it's like you could do that in January.
That's crazy.
No, it's not. It's going to be so easy. Watch.
Okay.
Watch.
Okay, everybody, stay tuned. We'll do an update video
My
on
God,
how it
it's going to
goes
be.
because that is, I mean, truly when you start to look at all of it as a numbers game of just like conversion rates, like when you put your marketer hat on, I think that's where a lot of business owners get stuck is because we don't think of ourselves as good marketers. We want like the less broy angles. Like I'm not in that zone anymore. I'm like, give me the, like I've got the messaging down. Like I'm ready to like like tinkering and really prioritizing that marketing budget towards Facebook ads because my business has been around for 5 years and I have 2,400 people on my email list. And so if you're telling me I can get 1,000 people in January, like, okay, Claire, I'll
It's
let's see.
Yeah. I mean, it is a numbers game.
Yeah.
You find something that works and then you throw more money behind it. I mean, it's just like you could divide 1,000 by 12 and like how many is that a month and then do the math on that. And that would be like the lowest key list building ad ever. It would be so
Yeah.
chill. But
Yeah.
you could also make it like the chill ad is set up the same way as the not chill ad. It's just more money.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a great way to look at it. Of like you can start small and then once you like you see what works, you can add gasoline to the fire. I don't know a nicer way to say it, but just like really, really put energy and put money towards it
Yeah,
and watch it run. Cool.
totally.
Well, okay, so everybody join me in absolute FB ads. Who do you think like if you're watching this, you're ready if you have X like what are like the one or two things like you're ready to join absolute FB ads if you're in this point in your business?
Okay, I would say that you are ready to run paid traffic if you have an offer that you have sold in the past 3 to 6 months. Like if you've been working in your business and selling, and maybe you're getting like one client a month or something like that. Like nothing crazy, but you know that what you have is really needed by people and they're able to recognize it. Then you're ready. That's absolutely it. If you used to sell something and it was like a pandemic only thing, right? Like it was perfect in the pandemic but you haven't sold that in the past 2 years, ads isn't going to necessarily fix that, right? Um but yeah, if you're able to get a client or two by doing organic work, then yeah, you're ready for ads.
Cool. Great. Okay, y'all. Well, the links to absolute FB ads will be in the description. Like I said, I'm gonna be in there, so you'll see me. Is there a group still?
As we move over to Circle, I haven't decided if we're going to do a group or not.
I love Circle. Well, if there's not, whatever's in there, I'll be there. So
Oh yeah.
people will see me in there regardless. But Claire, if people have questions, where's the best way to reach out to you, get in touch?
Yeah, so they can send their questions to hey@clairepels.com via email, or you could just reach out to me on Instagram. I'm Claire Pels there, even though I don't do a ton of organic social. I'm still there, like watching Ashley's stories and, seeing what else my friends are up to and that kind of thing, getting ideas. I love watching ads actually
Yeah.
and being like, ooh,
You're
what is
you're a
this?
student when you're on IGs.
Pretty much, because I don't know if you have noticed, it's all ads.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here, Claire. And we'll see y'all in the next episode.
all right. Thanks for having me, Ashley. This was so much fun.
Thanks so much for watching this episode. I hope you loved my conversation with Claire as much as I did. If at the end of this video, you are thinking that you're ready to stop relying on only organic marketing and affiliates and you want your first or next ads to actually make sense, your next step is super simple. I want you to join Absolute FB Ads with me. So I'm going to be in this program and I'm so excited to be in it for the next year. It's lifetime access. So I'm locked in on ads. So if you are ready to have ads be a part of your strategy, for sure, check out Absolute FB Ads. If you have any questions, you can ask me, you can ask Claire. Absolute FB Ads is designed to help you choose the right thing to send traffic to without building that giant funnel from scratch. Set up straightforward list building and low ticket offer campaigns, and maybe most importantly, help you understand your numbers so you know what to scale, what to tweak, what to stop. I cannot wait to be a part of this program. I'm going to be in Absolute FB Ads right alongside you. And so if you have any questions of how it's been working, if you've been watching this a couple months into 2026, happy to give an update. If this video was helpful, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and for more systems and strategy conversations, be sure to follow along and let me know in the comments, are you planning to test ads in 2026? What's your status with those? Have you seen anything working? I would love to just nerd out on ads with you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.